Good morning, my lovely friends. I am dressed a little bit more fancy today because today we will be reviewing John Jake's North and South, a miniseries based on the books he wrote, had written about the Civil War. Let's get into it. And since all these ladies you know, dressed up in all these fancy dresses, and you know, eh, you had to have a big earring, you had to have a tiara, you had to have some sparkly necklace, and you go to balls and you dance and you do all these things. I decided, you know what, I'm dressing up too. I'm not wearing a dress. I'm in my robe, but I have fancy earrings. I have a fake diamond necklace, and I am wearing a tiara. So let's get started. Usually, it takes me about 5 minutes to talk about the people starring in the movie because most of the time, movies have a regular size cast, cast you kind of can keep up with. Not this movie. Stay tuned. I will be posting pictures, probably move my video over here and post pictures there, and you'll see this movie has a lot of actors, and I'm going to try to condense it down. But seriously, that cast, and I'm like, it's not just no names. This movie has a bunch of very well known actors. So if you know somebody from the 80s, an actor, an actress, very likely he or she is in this movie. Well, I just learned a very important lesson. When your doorbell rings, make sure to remove your tiara when you're filming, because I opened the door. I was, a delivery person was outside. I opened the door. He kind of looks at me. Then I realize, shit, I'm looking like I'm cosplaying as the queen today. And I'm just like, oops. Anyway, let's continue. The two main characters in North and South are Patrick Swayze as Ori Main. Patrick Swayze was born on August 18, 1952 in Houston, Texas. Sadly, he passed away September 14th, 2009 at age 57. Very sad loss. He's also known for his roles in Ghost, Red Dawn, and Dirty Dancing. Many of you know Dirty Dancing. Very talented actor, gone too soon. The second character is James Reed as George Hazard. He was born July 31st, 1953. He's 69 years of age right now. He's from Buffalo, New York. His spouse is Wendy Kilborn. They married in 1988, and she also starred in North and South. Let's continue on to the spouses of the main characters, which Wendy Kilborn, who plays Constance, is also married to James Reed in real life, so that is kind of interesting. Wendy Kilborn Reed is an American attorney and former television actress. She quit acting to go to law school, and now she is a practicing attorney in California. Pretty interesting. So she does have beauty and brains. That's very interesting. And then Leslie Ann Down is a British actress, singer, and former model. I can definitely see that. Very beautiful woman. Achieved fame as Georgina Worsley in the TV drama Upstairs, Downstairs. Born March 17th, 1954. Age is 68. She's from Wendlesworth, London, United Kingdom. Very beautiful and talented actress. Let's move on to the side characters, the siblings of the main characters. Terry Garber plays Ashton Maine, Ori Maine's sister. She was born December 28th, 1960. Age right now is 61 years of age. She is born in Miami, Florida. Eugene Ann Francis, also known as Jeannie Francis, is an American actress. She's best known for playing the role of Laura Spencer on the television soap opera General Hospital. She was born May 26th, 1962. Her current age is 60 years of age, and she's from Englewood, New Jersey. Her spouse is Jonathan Frakes, who also played on North and South. He plays the role of Stanley Hazard, George Hazard's older brother. Let's move on with George Hazard's siblings. Kirstie Louise Ellie was an American actress. Her breakout role was as Rebecca Howe in the sitcom Cheers. She played the role of Virgilia on North and South. She was born January 12th, 1951 in Wichita, Kansas. She died sadly December 5th, 2022 in Tampa, Florida. Very, very sad. Jonathan Scott Frakes is an American actor and director. He is best known for his portrayal of Commander William Riker in the television series Star Trek. Born August 19, 1952, age 70. He is born in Bellefonte, Pennsylvania. He played the role of Stanley Hazard on North and South. He is married to Jeannie Francis, who played Ori Maine's sister Brett. The last role is John Stockwell Samuels, is an American actor, director, producer, writer, and former model. Born March 25th, 1961. He is currently 61 years of age. He is from Galveston, Texas. He played the role of Billy in earlier episodes. Later on, Billy Hazard was played by Richard Stevenson, professionally known as Parker Stevenson, is an American actor best known for playing Frank Hardy in the 1970s TV series The Hardy Boys. His birthday is June 4th, 1952. He currently is 70 years of age. He is from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. He was married to Kirstie Alley, who also played on North and South as Virgilia. Good morning, everyone. I have not filmed in about a day and a half. I simply was busy. Yesterday, I had 2 photo shoots. I am currently doing photo shoots for free in my local area for people in need, people that can't afford photo shoots, people that had a hard year, people that may have lost a family member, people who may just need it. I do this for the Christmas season, and sometimes during the year I offer those shoots as well to people in need. That's that's my way of giving back to the community. So I did these 2 photo shoots, and I was tired afterwards. Let's be honest. It's minus temperatures in Germany right now. So we're pretty cold. I am pretty cold. That's why I'm snuggled in my robe, and I have my second cup of cappuccino here. I've tried to go with the look again, the 1800s look. They all had the ladies had the jewels and the headpieces and the flowers and the big hats, and we'll see as the story goes on. I may switch things. I may wear a hat. I may wear different earrings. I don't have any fancy earrings. I don't have expensive earrings. All my earrings are fake because I lose my earrings all the time, so I don't see the use in buying expensive things. So let's get started. The two main families in this miniseries are the Mains and the Hazards. Pictured here are the Mains: Clarissa, Ori, cousin Charles, Brett, and Ashton Main, who live in South Carolina. They live on a big plantation. They own slaves. Um, as the story continues, there's a lot of drama, a lot of things happening to this family. Here you see the Hazards, George Hazard, the main character in the miniseries, best friend of Ori Main. In front you see Billy Hazard, the mother is in the middle, Maud Hazard, Virgilia Hazard, and Stanley Hazard. And I believe the person in the back playing their father, his name, I believe, is William Hazard as well. Ori finds this carriage turned over, this terrible accident, which, in my opinion, somebody would probably have gotten seriously hurt. He opens up the side doors. I guess the carriage is overturned, so he just kind of looks, like, opens the door and sees, and then he sees the face of Madeline. And in this instant moment, Ori falls in love with Madeline. He's like, "Oh, this is this is the love of my life." So first he rescues her from a snake. So basically she has this accident with the carriage, and inside the carriage somehow a snake had gotten into it. I don't know how, don't know. So he takes, the snake, takes it out and throws it away, then helps Madeline out, then helps out her, her servant, Mom Sally is her name. And then, Ori decides to take Madeline and take her to her father, who at that point was at the plantation of Mr. Justin Lamotte. And, Madeline in her mind is already like, I'm going to marry Ori. This is the guy for me, even though they only met like 30 seconds earlier. She already is like, here's my tissue. She gives him a tissue, and they actually share a kiss. I'm like, holy cow. They're like moving very, very, very fast. Even, come on now, calm down. So she, in her mind, she's like, I'm marrying Ori. This is my guy, and he thinks the same. You're my girl. And when I come back from West Point, he's on his way to West Point. You and me are gonna, get married, and this is gonna happen. Well, Madeline Fabray, the daughter of Nicholas Fabray, Nicholas doesn't want that. Nicholas wants her to be with an older, rich gentleman. I'm like, Ori's rich too. He's the son of a rich plantation owner. And the only difference is Justin's maybe more experience in life. But I'm like, Ori would have been a good pick for her too. He was healthy, West Point graduate, influential man in the county, I guess. And no, Nicholas wants her to marry Justin. But there's a little glimmer of hope for Madeline as she continues writing letters to Ori to West Point, and he writes letters to her from West Point to her house. And eventually the letters stop, and I guess both of them assume that, each of them lost interest. I guess Ori's no longer interested, and he's busy with his military career. And Ori probably figured, Madeline lost interest or she died. Who knows? Back then, people had a lot of, different types of diseases. But Ori doesn't realize that Madeline is now engaged to Justin Lamotte, and she she wants to marry him to please her father. She doesn't love Justin. Justin is not a very lovable man. I'll show you in a second. He's played by David Carradine. Super great actor, and the way he played Justin Lamotte put the fear of God in me. He just great actor. Great actor. Just like, Madeline still loves Ori. Ori still loves Madeline. They're both secretly heartbroken that they don't communicate with each other anymore. And Ori comes back from his West Point leave. And I guess his family, the Mains, are invited to the wedding at the Resolute plantation. With all these plantations have these very, very big fancy names. So he's invited to Resolute plantation to attend the wedding of Madeline and Justine. Justine. Madeline always pronounces it like that when she gets upset, and Justine, and he slaps her. And he's not a very pleasant guy. He slaps her, he hits her. He's really like, he doesn't believe in any rights of women. And I guess back then, women weren't really considered. I don't know, they didn't have a voice in a lot of things in their life. Which, that's a time period. I'm not telling you here any opinions, point of views, no political opinions. I'm just sharing with you this mini series of information about this mini series. So Madeline marries Justine, how she calls him, and then she sees Ori at the wedding. You can see they're both like, and he's confused. Why did you marry him? And he's like, but she's like, but you stopped writing. And for the first, I think 2 episodes, Madeline talks like this the entire time. Ori, you stopped communicating with me. Like, her voice is not very strong. Maybe they did that on purpose because she was supposed to be timid. She was a smart young lady, but she followed her husband's, she tried to please her father by marrying her husband, this Justin Lamotte guy. And maybe that's the reason why they kind of made her voice a little bit more softer and a little bit more timid, because she was young, she was inexperienced, she was smart, and she wanted to speak her mind and stuff, but her husband didn't let her. Obviously, her dad didn't really, give her a chance to say, hey, do you really want to marry this guy? It was more like, hey, this is what I want you to do, enjoy. So, Madeline has, I think, about the most miserable 10 years of marriage. I have no idea how long they were actually married, Justine and Madeline. Horrible marriage, horrible man. He's the worst. It's just, wow. David Carradine, excellent actor. He made me dislike this character so much just by his talent of acting. Before I continue on, I have to talk about this guy, Elkanah Bent. He is the antagonist in the story, the mean guy, the evil guy, the villain of the story. Elkanah Bent, he was played by Philip Kasnoff. And I'm adding him here because my sister seems to be obsessed with him. Because we just recently talked about the miniseries, and she's like, "Oh, he was my favorite. He's so hot, and he's so good looking." And I'm just like, "You didn't watch this in English, did you?" And she's like, "No, I watched it in German." And I guess in German he has a very, calm voice, very, you know, level. And I'm like, in English, he has like such an annoying voice. Philip Kasnoff plays this character so well. You instantly dislike him. You just think he's a pompous asshat. And he is, obviously Philip Kasnoff is not like that in real life. I don't know him in real life, but my sister is obsessed with him. I'm probably gonna see if I can tag him. My sister thinks you are the hottest thing ever to come out from the miniseries. I guess opinions differ. Yes, he's a handsome man, but because he's such a darn good actor, I couldn't find him attractive because he played this villain. Despite loving the miniseries and watching it very intently, obviously the war scenes are not as interesting to me as the love scenes. And one of the key love stories in the miniseries is the love between George Hazard and Constance Flynn, an Irish girl he meets during the Mexican American War. Um, they fall in love, they get married, and they are actually married in real life. Isn't that awesome? And they've been married, I think, probably for 20, 30 years, something like that. Very long time. Poor Ori is still single. He's longing for Madeline. He wants to be in her life, but Justin mistreats her very, very badly. In between, they start having a secret love affair. They always meet at an abandoned church. Now he's kept thinking to myself, it's very much exposed to the elements. I mean, both of you guys have a lot of land. Isn't there anywhere else you could have met in some barn or some cabin or something? I don't know. But they start having a little bit of an affair until Justine. She always when she has these arguments with him, she's always Justine. Justine. I would have pronounced it more like Justin. Justin. In one of those fights, I guess Justine completely loses this, and he whips her with the horse whip, and he numerous times has beaten her in the face and slapped her, and he actually is also the cause of her servant dying. He pushes her down the stairs. Very dramatic, very sad. And then Justine decides to, I guess, give Madeline a special doctor-approved calming down medicine. I have to look up what the medicine is called, but he gives it to her as a vitamin drink. I'm like, a vitamin drink? It's not a vitamin drink. It's just a keep Madeline calm drink. So during that period, Ori doesn't really see Madeline. He's very distraught and he's not doing very well mentally. He doesn't treat his siblings very nice. Sad. But he's single and he's sad and he's depressed. He wants to be with his love, Madeline. Before we forget, in later episodes, Ori Main's sisters become also a very vital part of the story. Here you see Brett, the blonde, and Ashton, the dark haired sister. Um, as they grow older, they definitely develop different types of personalities. Brett is very sweet and kind and very nurturing, while Ashton is mean and manipulative, and she's very I guess entitled, and she's angry, and she wants things when she thinks she deserves things. So Ashton kind of has a thing for Billy, George Heather's brother. Billy still thinks, they could have something that, not all hope is lost, and the main family the, invites the Hazards to South Carolina to come visit them, and during that visit, Billy thinks, yeah, maybe we can rekindle this a little bit, and they get flirty, and of course, Ashton is a little bit pouty. She's still not really getting her way, but Ashton has a lover, Justine Lamotte's Madeline's nephew. Justin and Madeline's nephew. Yeah, he is Ashton's lover. So she's like, you know what? Even though she cares for Billy in some way, I think um, she likes Billy. She cares about him. She's just like, okay, you're not giving me what I want. I have my lover right here. And they head off to the barn, and Billy ends up looking for Ashton, thinking, where's my sweet innocent Ashton? What's happening? I have to make sure she's all right. And he catches them in the act, and he finally understands what Ashton is really like. That Ashton, I guess, doesn't have class. She doesn't, treat people very nice, and she sleeps around. And of course, for Billy, that was like the end of their little, I guess, love affair. The end of their. I mean, they didn't even really do anything really together, but it was like, okay, he was already in these stages. He was like, okay, maybe this could be my future wife. But Billy completely, nope. He's like, I see you now for who you really are. Billy's eyes are finally opened when Charles, the cousin Charles, Ori's cousin, tells him that he should give Brett a chance. That she's such a kind individual and loving person. So Billy finally opens up his eyes to other possibilities, and he starts spending more time with Brett. Old timey spending time, like taking walks together, riding horses together, stuff like that, sitting in the parlor, reading to each other, like things that were done in the olden days. Ashton, obviously, she's not, that was not her favorite thing to do. She wanted to get down, which back then, I guess, that was not appropriate, and people didn't quite understand. So Brett and Billy start dating, courting each other. And very soon they realize they have a lot of things in common. They have similar views, they have similar temperaments, very calm and friendly and just kind and low key. And Ashton is fuming. She's like, oh, she pretends like she doesn't care, but she does care. Ashno gets engaged now. She gets engaged. It takes some time, but it's all within the time frame. She gets engaged. Ashton, even though she's still harbors feelings for Billy, and she's super resentful, gets engaged to James Huntoon, an up and coming politician, and she absolutely doesn't love him. She doesn't really care for him. The only reason she marries him because she feels like he's influential. He will become a senator or a politician, even maybe the president of the United States. So she has this husband, and in her marriage, she acts like she's innocent and she's never, been touched by a man. And she's just like, oh, James, is this really how people do things? It makes me feel so embarrassed and shy. And meanwhile, she has like, lovers and all these other things. And poor James has no clue. And as their marriage, goes on and evolves, I guess she has a very strong hold over him. She does what she wants to do. She controls her husband. She's really kind of mean to him. Yeah, he's kind of like a buffoon. He's boring. He's not the most, I don't think he's evil. He's not very nice either. He's kind of boring. But she absolutely treats him like poop. And I'm like, poor James Huntoon. And as time goes on, he climbs the political ladder a little bit at a time, but of course it is not enough for Ashton. It's not enough. She needs more. She needs a man that's interesting. She needs passion in her life, and as time goes on, she loses more and more respect and for her husband. I guess she cannot lose love because she didn't really love him to begin with. So Ashton Maine is played by Terry Garber, and she is an excellent, fascinating actress. Kudos to her, because I completely believe what she's playing. I completely believe that she hates this guy. I completely believe she's a mean person and she's trying to, you know, yeah, be like that. Tune in next week for part 2.